Alright guys, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. Look to the sky, brothers. We have another battle report coming in hot. We've got Dave coming around here today. Say g'day, Dave.
Hello.
It's a different person. We've got less restrictions here in Victoria now, so we can actually get back to having more people on the channel. So, glorious days. You guys requested Iron Hands, and it just happens that Dave has Iron Hands because he's that guy. I'm going to be running the Blood Angels. There's a few changes in the list, so I'll go over that first. And then I'll let Dave explain his list because I don't know what's going on with all that jazz. Alright, so for the Blood Angels, we've got HQs. We've got Mephiston. He's going to have Wings of Sanguinius, the Quickening, and Shield of Sanguinius. Then at the back, we've got Librarian Dreadnought. He's going to have Wings of Sanguinius and the Quickening as well. He's going to be the Warlord with Gift of Foresight, so the Feel No Pain Dreadnought. Troops. We got 1, 2, 3 5-man intercessor squads, auto bolt rifles, and power fists. Then we've got in elites 1, 2 Furioso dreads, and today we're running them with the frag cannons because they're cheaper that way, and I just wanted more shooting, so we went down that path. So they've got heavy flamer and frag cannons. We'll see how that goes, and we'll make arrangements to change it later if it's no good. Then of course, don't leave home without your banner, Feel No Pain banner. That's pretty self-explanatory, you know it, you love it. New thing to the list, apologies, didn't fully get them painted. They're tabletop standard, but I've added in 3 fast attack choices. So 3 attack bikes with the multi-melter on them. So they'll be running as 3 separate units, zipping around the board and hopefully doing something this match, we'll see. Then we got Bale Predator with bolters and assault cannons. And then we got the Bulldog with all fucking las cannons ready to hopefully kill some of that shit. Alright, so that's my list. That comes in at 1,512 command points, and I haven't spent any command points on anything yet, so we're going to go in solid. Then we got... I have no idea what's going on here, but we'll have a bit of a look because Dave's done a good job painting these guys up and getting some really nice basing, and that's a Leviathan Dreadnought. I'm gonna regret this.
It's what happens during lockdown. You paint stuff.
Get a heap of stuff done. So break it down. So what do you got for HQs at the front here?
So Ironfather Feros.
So this
special character.
Yep.
Basically he has bubble of 5-up invon for pretty much everything. And he can repair twice for a vehicle. So he's bit of a boss.
Bit of a boss.
Then your second is a lieutenant.
Yep. Standard.
But he'll be carrying the Iron Stone, so it's basically -1 damage to vehicles within 3. 1 vehicle within 3.
Yep.
They FAQ'd it, pricks. Then we got Apothecary. He'll be the Warlord because I'm going to make him the Chief Apothecary.
Yep.
Basically, he'll have a 5-up Feel No Pain bubble for Iron Hands because adds +1 to Feel No Pain rolls, basically.
Oh.
4 troops. Intercessors with bolt rifles and power fist. Big unit of 10 with stalkers and a power fist.
Yep.
Then 2 units of infiltrators.
Then what do you got at the back?
Yeah, the big boys. Little Leviathan.
Yep.
So I'm going to pay the command point to make him a character and give him a warlord trait, which is Feel No Pain. So he has a 5-up Feel No Pain and a 4-up invon. So good luck trying to kill him.
Yep.
Then you got your 2 war suits.
They got the flamers.
They got the flamers, and yeah, as is.
So that's the list. How many command points are you coming in with?
Started with 12, but because I'll be using the Chief Apothecary, the character, and buying an extra warlord trait, I start with 10.
Alright. So there you have it, guys. We're going to have a bit of brother on brother action. We'll see if the Blood Angels can pull this one off. They're on a good win streak here, so we'll see if these guys can come and upset them. We'll get a mission rolled up, and we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, we have rolled up a mission, deployed our armies, and we're ready to go. What was the name of the mission, Dave?
Surround and destroy.
So, for surround and destroy, we've got 1 objective over here, 1 way over the other side, 1 here in the centre, another in the centre, and then another 2 on the back fence for the Blood Angels. So how many points do you get for those?
So if you control 1, you get 5. If
Yep.
you control 2, you get 10. If you control more than your opponent, you get 15.
Is that the maximum each turn?
Each turn. Maximum of 45 for the game.
Alright, too easy. For secondaries...
So, yourself, you got Bring It Down. So, destroy vehicles.
Because there's lots of vehicles here.
So, you can get a max 3 per vehicle.
Yep.
Mental Interrogation.
So, that's a psychic power that I cast to get points, which is a value of 4.
Cast it on a character.
Yep.
And Grind Them Down. So, if you kill more units than me.
Which might be, now that I'm looking at the army. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll see how it goes. That's Blood Angels. We don't fuck around.
I got Bring It Down because you got heaps of vehicles.
Yep.
Raise the banners. So basically take an action, put a counter on a objective, and you get a point.
Yep.
And I took Grind Them Down because I don't reckon you'll kill more than me in a turn.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Now for the deployment for the Blood Angels, we'll start over the right hand side. So I got attack bike. Then we got the bulldog. Then coming across here, we got 1, 2, 3 units of intercessors, and then we got Mephiston here and the banner. Behind them we've got the Librarian Dreadnought. Coming over this side, 2 attack bikes, and then we've got the Bale Predator. Now I've paid the 3 command points to put 2 of my Dreadnoughts in reserves. Now Dave's army around here, you got everything on the battlefield, don't you?
Yep.
So starting over this side, we've got some Infiltrators, big Dreadnought, bigger Dreadnought, beg my pardon, big blob of troops and all the characters in there. So I don't know how I'm going to remove that, but we'll give it a crack. Over here again, another Dreadnought, and then all the way over here we got another unit of them. So Dave's set up first, so he's going to be having first turn, and there's nothing I can do about that because there's no more CZ initiative. So we'll let him have his first turn, and we'll get back to you in a minute, and if I've got anything left on the battlefield, I'll have a go. Alright, we'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, it's actually, we've just had an amendment that Dave brought up, and after we finished setting up our armies we had a roll-off, and the Blood Angels actually end up going first because I won the roll-off, so that was something that Dave brought to my attention. So we're actually at the end of Blood Angel turn 1 here, so we'll go through what's happened. So over here, bikes moved over here, these guys ran from in here over to this objective, the Bulldog moved up into here, the Dreadnought ran and has ended up over here. Mephiston's fucking way ahead of the pack over here. We got these guys run towards this objective here with the banner behind them. Bale Predators moved up here. These guys ran from over here to this objective, and these 2 moved around this way and towards this thing here. So psychic wise, we got wings off and the quickening, which is why Mephiston's on the other side of the board. That was pretty much it. Shooting wise, start over here. This shot into the Dreadnought that was there to help kill it. These guys didn't shoot anything. This shot over pew, into the Leviathan Dreadnought. How many wounds did I do, Dave? 1. These guys here, with combination of this, killed... How many of these guys here did I kill? It was like 3. Yep, and wounded 1. These guys didn't do any shooting because they're just on the objective. And then over here, these 2 shot into here and took, I think, 3 wounds off this big boy here. And also killed an intercessor with their bolt guns over here. So at the end of Blood Angels turn 1, you get the points at the end of the game because I had the, is it Big Game Hunter?
Grind Them Down.
Grind Them Down. All that jazz. So we got three victory points for killing the Dreadnought. Obviously Mephiston's out in the open here, but I reckon he can take all these shots, no problem. Alright, so that's the end of Blood Angels turn 1. We'll let Dave have his turn and see if he can't retaliate and mess up my game plan. Alright. Alright guys, end of Iron Hands turn 1. So what's happened here? So movement wise, this blob just shuffled forward. I'm getting a very Death Guard vibe about this. This Dreadnought's all the way over here, and these guys over here moved back towards this objective. Pretty much the crux of this entire turn was everything here, these guys over here, all shot into Mephiston, and it took all of that firepower to remove him, but Mephiston is dead. So that was a good effort, Dave. Lots of shooting. Then this, with its, what's the name of the guns again?
Storm Cannon.
Storm Cannon array, shot over here and deleted one of my units off of the objective here. And then this Dreadnought ran over here. He did some shots and cooked into one of these bikes. And then he assaulted. He killed one bike. And this bike's still there, but it's only on 1 wound. And then points-wise, what was your think?
So I got grind them downs because I killed more enemies.
Yep, so at the end of this battle round, you've killed more enemies, so he gets points for that as his secondary. Alright, so we'll go into Blood Angel turn 2 and see if we can't remove some more of these heathens. Alright, we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, into Blood Angel turn 2. We've had a bit of movement, board control, and things coming on all over the shops. So we'll start on this side. So these guys stayed here. This moved forward a bit to shoot down this way. This Dreadnought come on from the side here, shot into these Marines and managed to run in, crush them and get onto this objective. This moved to this objective here. The Bale Predator moved to the centre, sitting on this objective. These guys stayed on this objective. This guy moved out of combat with these guys so that the tank over here could fire over. And we've reduced him down to 5 wounds, but being Iron Hands, their tier stays up, always counts as double, so he's not too affected. Then in the centre over here, the Librarian Dreadnought made it all the way over into combat with these guys, but he put the, is it Indomitable? Indomitable? The thing that you can only wound him on a 4 up. So even though I had an absolute bucket load of attacks with the Dreadnought, he reduced a heap of them, because normally I'd be wounding on 2s, but he made it 4s. So how many did I kill, Dave?
Like 2.
2 of them. And then I managed to get this guy into combat with the Leviathan Dread just to shut down his shooting. I actually managed to take 3 wounds off him, which, so this little dude here did more damage than the Laspred. So at the end of this round, I'm pretty much on every objective on the battlefield, except for this one here. So we're going to Iron Warriors, Iron Hands, turn 2. And Heresy. I've just upset Dave, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see what he can do. We'll get back to you and fuck this Dreadnought. Alright guys, end of Iron Hands, not Warriors, Hands, say it with me. Turn 2. So what have they done? So the bubble stays strong. Like I said, it's a very Death Guard-esque type list. They just sort of spread out here, didn't really go anywhere. And this guy's ended up all the way over here. So in here, Dave blew away the Sangry Ancient in combat with the big Levy Dread. And the rest of these guys sort of shot some bolt rounds and stuff into the Librarian Dreadnought. But then Ferios Merios, or whatever his name is, what's his name? This dude with a crane on his back. He went in and Feros Meros. Oh, I don't know. He went in and he used this crane to remove the sarcophagus out of the Libby Dread and then just stomped on its head and was like, "Eat my dick, bitch." That was the price that you pay for messing with Ferios Merios. Over here, this was just an epic fail. He ran in and killed one guy, but then these guys smacked him around a bit, and now this thing's only on 2 wounds. How many points you score for the round, Dave?
I only got the 2 secondaries, so I got 6.
6.
So I killed a vehicle and killed more units than you.
Yep, so he's got himself back in the game by removing out of combat, and he's got his gun line all healthy again. So we'll see what he does in the next round, and we'll see if we can do some more work. Alright, we'll get back to you in Blood Angels turn 3 when we turn our Power Fists up to 11. See you in a minute. Alright guys, end of Blood Angel turn 3. So, let's go through it. Let's break it down. So, I got, because I'm pretty much on every objective on the table. Well, I am on every objective. So, I've got guys over here on this objective. Dreadnought ran over this one swapped over to this one. I've come over on this side on this objective, but that's troops, and we're sitting on this one. So that's a good board control army, I'd say. But what has happened is these stood still and did nothing. It's culled the objective. This shot through at the Leviathan Dread and did nothing. These guys stepped out of combat, and then the multi-melter from this hit the big boy and dropped it. Balpred shot into here. I think he killed one guy. And then I come on from the side here and got the charge off and killed 3.5 Incursors. So Dave was just saying, at the end of my battle round 3, I'm on 31 points. And what were you on, Dave?
I'm on 19, so it's not too bad.
He's on 19. But the only objective he's holding is this one here. So he's got to get out of this deployment zone and start taking some objectives. He's got to start kicking some ass. That's what he's going to do. He's going to summon the Emperor and come and win this battle. So we'll let him have his turn 3. And we'll get back to you in a minute and see what he does. All right, guys. Alright guys, end of Iron Hand's turn 3. So what happened? These guys moved out of combat with the Dreadnought, but stayed on the objective. Then the cannon array, what's it called again?
Storm cannon.
Storm cannon array shot back and obliterated the Dreadnought. He did something like 12 wounds on him, something ridiculous. Then done a couple of flamer shots, and this guy also shot into the Bale Predator, a few more bolt shots, and then he ran in and finished it off with Power Fist. But then the Bale Predator blew up and killed a guy out of each of those units. So he's killed another vehicle. So that was 8 points for the round he's scored. But he's on a couple of objectives now. He's just got to stay on them, and then we'll see what happens. So going into turn 4, we'll see what we can do if we can't get over here and crush some heads and get on with the game. See if we can't kill this Leviathan Dread. I've been shooting at it. It's just been laughing at me. Just bounces off it. Nothing happens. And then this guy's just like, oh, I'll just fix it. And then this guy's like, oh, you killed some blokes. I'll fix them. It's pretty fucking solid. All right, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Blood Angel turn 4. Some stuff has happened, some things have happened, and some shit's blown up. So first things first, this moved back to hold this objective. These guys come forward to shoot over here. These guys came forward from over here, shot and ran in. This bike's over here, and the Dreadnought ran up as well. So, this shot at the Dread, nothing again. Nothing happened. These guys and everything over here shot into the unit that was the back here and cleared them out. Then these guys ran in and cleared out the other unit. So we cleared off this objective and we've taken it. And we tried firing the multi-melter into this guy as well and did nothing. So at the end of this, Dave's informed me that for primary, I'm on 40 points. So I'm going to max out the points for the turn. So we're just discussing that. What did you say you're on? 10?
I'm on 10 for primary.
Yep. So
I mean, I've got a bit of a lead for secondaries, but they're not huge points.
Yep. So we're going to assess it at there. We're going to let Dave have his turn 4. See what he can do, see what the points are, and then go from there. Because at this point in time, because I've maxed out points and he can't get to a lot of units, he's not going to be able to catch up at this point. But we'll see what he does anyway. We'll let him have his turn 4, and we'll go from there. All right, we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, end of Iron Hand's turn 4, and some stuff's happened. Pretty much this stuff moved forward onto this objective. They killed everything, like my unit there, and then the cannons here shot over here and killed the Dreadnought, and everything else just stayed still. It was pretty straightforward. We've just worked out the points, and we've actually called the game there because Dave cannot get enough points to catch up to me. So at the end, like as soon as I start the next round, I'm going to be on 51 points. And then he's worked out the maximum points he can get is to 41. So he can't catch up. So either way, it's going to be a Blood Angel victory today. And we were just discussing just off camera, it's due to the mobility. So I think these attack bikes that have been added into the list and some other things really play into the effects of how 9th edition plays, because having 6 objectives all over the board, being able to zip around, catching them all makes a big difference. Gunline armies and bubble armies like this still do effective damage and can be effective in certain missions, but the slow nature of the army sort of lets it down a little bit. So Dave was actually discussing some things he's going to change in the list. So we'll keep playing the Iron Hands, but just speed her up a little. You got any thoughts on the game, Dave?
No, definitely 9th edition is all about movement, so it really changes the style of armies.
It has. I think the only one I was saying to Dave that I've sort of got to up to date is this Blood Angels one. It's very 9th edition now. It's ready to go. So now all we've got to do is catch up all our other armies. But the only way we're going to learn that is by playing games. So we'll get back to the drawing board and get some more lists put together, and hopefully he's enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one. And there you have it. The Blood Angels go on just caving their way through the 41st millennium, being undefeated. All right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.